to the US on a work-study master's program. I spent my first 7 months on campus in Iowa. Thereafter, I found a job here in San Jose at a startup. The day I landed the job was October 30th, 2007. That day, a powerful earthquake, a 5.6 magnitude on the Richter scale, rocked both San Jose and my life. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, in my Icebreaker speech today, I would like to share with you my professional journey here in the US. I was very excited to start my life here in the Silicon Valley. My workplace was small, about twice the size of this room. We were totally about 10 people. I worked with 2 highly experienced engineers. Prior to coming to the US, I had worked for 5 years, so I wasn't totally inexperienced. 1 month into work, I saw major issues in our framework. How could I build software on a faulty foundation? So I asked questions. This didn't go well with one of the engineers. It was his way or the highway. Thereafter, his attitude towards me changed drastically. He would pick on me, bully me, yell at me almost every day, and this went on for a month until one day he called me to his cubicle and very loudly said, "You are a disappointment." I was very upset. My manager overheard. He intervened. He took me to a conference room and he told me, "Such things happen at work. Don't take it to heart. We can work this out. I'll talk to him. Don't ever think of leaving." I got back to my cubicle. It was late in the evening. People were leaving for the day. The last person to leave switched off the light. Without realizing, I was still in my cubicle. I continued sitting in the darkness. Actually, I hid in the darkness. I sat below the hollow space of my table because I didn't want anyone else coming in to see that I was still at my workplace. I didn't feel like going home that night. I sat there, I pulled the chair inside, I planted my head on the chair seat. I was in tears and I was wondering, am I really that bad? Am I a disappointment? And I started thinking of every positive thing that everyone in my life had told me until that point. I needed that positive reaffirmation. Time passed by, hours passed by, and with sunrise, I took the first bus back home. After the weekend, I was back again at work on Monday. My manager once again called me to the conference room. This time he was not alone. The bullying engineer was by his side. And he told me, "We are going to let you go." I was surprised. This was the same manager who had 2 days prior asked me not to consider leaving. So I did not ask any questions, and surprisingly, I did not feel sad or angry. At that point, all I felt was relief. I was relieved that nobody was going to yell at me or humiliate me anymore. That evening, when I came back home, reality struck. Bay Area is such an expensive place to live with a salary. Imagine living without the high rents and my student loan. So I started applying to companies that very evening. I worked like a machine. I spammed organizations with my resume. Within a couple of weeks, luckily I found a job at a big corporate. I continued working hard for the next 2 years. I finished my studies in parallel and I paid off my student loan. After that, a better opportunity came up at my current workplace, and I switched jobs. Over here, we are encouraged to ask questions, to innovate. The open culture suited me so much that with each passing year, I thrived. Last year, we had a hackathon at work, and based on an idea I had, I built a prototype. I showed it to one of our sales engineers. He told me that one of our telecom customers wanted to see a demo. So I went with my business unit head to New Jersey. It was my first time at a customer site, and I was intimidated in a room full of networking engineers with decades of experience. But I told myself, "You've got this. Just show them how you can solve their problem." I focused on that. The demo was successful. Towards the end of last year, I delivered the code to them. This was a huge confidence boost for me. Thereafter, I took part in another competition outside of work at an SDN summit, and my idea won the first place. I had one goal in life, to have one patent to my name before I retired. Last year, my company filed my first patent, and now I hope this is not the end, but the beginning. That night, when I sat all alone in the darkness at a startup, getting here seemed impossible. But now that I'm here, I want to challenge myself more. I want to aim higher. I want to see my next impossible dream. And that's one of the reasons why I'm here. And to end, I would like to share a quote from one of my favorite Bollywood movies called Khamoshi. वो जिंदगी ही क्या जिसमें कोई नामुमकिन सपना ना हो, which means of what use is a life without an impossible dream. Thank you.